Now, live on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com, this is Eyewitness News at 11. Coverage you can count on.
The latest on the gas emergency on Aquidneck Island. Workers getting ready to restore gas to thousands of customers after 5 days without heat.
I think that we're placing blame at the wrong door.
Only in Eyewitness News, the president of a union representing some DCYF employees speaking out in the wake of a tragic death.
But we begin tonight with breaking news. President Trump has signed the bill to reopen the government. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Mike Montecalvo. The measure reopens the government for 3 weeks, ending a 5-week partial government shutdown sparked by the president's demand for funding to build a border wall between the United States and Mexico. This bill does not include that funding.
Instead, the deal provides a window for border security negotiations while allowing 800,000 federal workers to get paid for the first time in 35 days. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us in the newsroom with the details.
The deal signed by President Trump tonight only funds the government until mid-February. Hundreds of thousands of workers are expected to get back pay, and Trump says he's not giving up on the border wall fight that sparked the shutdown in the first place.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal.
President Donald Trump has signed a bill passed by Congress to temporarily reopen the government.
The shutdown of the federal government should have never happened in the first place.
Rhode Island U.S. Senator Jack Reed says he's relieved, but wants to make sure a month-long shutdown doesn't happen again.
But President Trump's attempts to force policy issues through by laying off hundreds of thousands of federal workers and disrupting the American economy should never be repeated.
Here at TF Green Airport, some relief, at least for now, for those employees of the TSA and FAA who have been working for more than a month without pay.
In 3 weeks, I could be right back out here doing the same thing, you know, worrying about my paycheck.
Dan Cruz and other FAA workers at TF Green picketed on their off time outside the airport Friday. The technicians in his union have been working without pay, maintaining key safety systems.
You know, people are stressed out, and you're supposed to be focusing on what you're doing, not worrying about, you know, can I pay my electric bill, or are they going to shut off my gas bill?
Air safety concerns may have played a key role in ending the shutdown. Some flights halted at airports Friday, including LaGuardia, after air traffic controllers called in sick. Hours later, President Trump agreed to sign a funding bill, ending the longest government shutdown in history.
Oh, 5 weeks, 40 hours a week, 200 hours. Haven't seen a paycheck. And hopefully I'll get one soon.
A conference committee of senators and representatives has already been appointed to negotiate on immigration over the next 3 weeks. President Trump says he could declare a national emergency over the border if he doesn't get that wall funding. I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Now to a story we've been tracking for days, the gas emergency on Aquidneck Island.
National Grid is working to restore gas service to more than 6,000 homes and businesses in Newport.
And today, workers repressurized the system, and they're now getting ready to go door to door again to turn everyone's gas back on.
We're told that process will take several days. Eyewitness News reporter Sheena Losciuto has the latest from the East Bay Mobile Newsroom.
Well, right now we're in National Grid's command center at the old Newport Grants parking lot. There are hundreds of trucks here. National Grid says they are almost ready to turn gas back on for customers in Newport, but it could still be days before everyone is turned back on. And that's why officials are reminding you to continue planning ahead. It's day 5 of the gas emergency on Aquidneck Island. According to National Grid, more than 1,000 crew members are staged here to work around the clock.
I can report today that we have finished phase 1, safely completing all of the shutoffs in Newport.
In Newport, National Grid has begun repressurizing gas systems. Our cameras captured crews working about 8 hours after they initially started.
This is a complex and time-consuming process.
Crews hope to start going door to door by Saturday afternoon to start turning gas back on for people, but it will likely be days before they get to everyone. National Grid says each stop will take about 45 minutes. Somebody over 18 must be home. An automated call will be put out when crews are ready.
I'm ready to go home.
We met Essence at one of the food trucks National Grid has set up. She, like many others, is staying in a hotel. That's why National Grid is urging everyone to make sure they update their contact numbers on their account so that they can be reached.
Don't try to relight your own pilot. It's dangerous. It's not worth it. We're going to keep everybody safe, and we're going to get get to the end of this.
And as we've been reporting, as work continues here in Newport, if you ever smell natural gas in your home, you should always call 911 right away. Reporting in Newport, I'm Sheena Losciuto, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sheena. And officials remind people it could be days before gas service is fully restored on the island. For the latest updates, you can head to WPRI.com. There, you'll also find information on warming shelters and hotels, as well as how to get reimbursed by National Grid.
Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca with your Pinpoint Weather 12 first forecast.
Well, dry, quiet weather this evening. Overall, the weekend, not too bad, just trending cooler to eventually colder. Skies are clear right now. Temperature, well, below freezing in most locations, though it's not bitter cold. Westerly is now at 28 degrees. 25 Smithfield, 29 Providence, low 30s along the South Shore. Most of us heading down to about 25 during the overnight, early tomorrow morning. Skies are dry and clear. No precipitation on Doppler radar, so we continue with the clear conditions for this evening. And the temperatures by tomorrow morning, again, down to about 25. We'll start the day with some sunshine. We'll get a closer look at the weekend. Still have some river flood warnings for some local rivers and streams. We'll talk about that, the full forecast, coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Tony. We're getting reaction tonight to recent changes made at the Department of Children, Youth and Families following the death of a Warwick girl earlier this month.
As we've reported, the DCYF took immediate actions in the wake of Zanai Rothgeb's death, like limiting the number of foster children placed to a home 5 or fewer. But tonight, the president of a local union representing DCYF employees says that's not enough and that her employees are being wrongly blamed in this case.
Eyewitness News reporter Caroline Goggin joins us with the interview you'll see only on Eyewitness News. Caroline.
Shannon and Mike, Kathy McElroy's union represents more than 300 DCYF employees. 4 of them were disciplined following the death of 9-year-old Zanai this month. McElroy says she understands there's always a rush to place blame, but she fears in this case it's jeopardizing the integrity of the department.
They feel that every time something tragic happens, and these things do happen, that they're always to blame, the frontline staff.
Inside this Warwick home, police say 9-year-old Zanai Rothgeb died in a bathtub. Her adoptive mother, Michelle Rothgeb, charged in her death. 4 DCYF employees later disciplined.
I feel that they followed what they were supposed to do at the time in question.
The 4 workers in question are part of Kathy McElroy's union. One of them is now on leave. 3 others have been given restricted responsibilities. McElroy says all but one have worked at the DCYF for more than a decade.
I think decisions were made far above the worker level that set this family up for failure.
McElroy claims one of her workers flagged this case last January as Michelle Rothgeb was in the process of adopting a 6th child from the department. McElroy says her social worker was making regular visits to the home and that she didn't find any of the deplorable conditions inside that police have described. However, McElroy says her worker was concerned about this single mother caring for 6 children with special needs, so she voiced that concern.
She made a recommendation in that case that the department didn't follow. That's not at a worker level. Those are all administrative decisions that are made.
In response to this claim, DCYF Communications Director Carrie White said, quote, "The Department of Administration is conducting an investigation and DCYF is conducting its own internal review that will help us understand all of the decisions that were made on this case at every level, from frontline workers to management." McElroy told me another concern for her staff is that they're overwhelmed by their caseloads. But the department tells me caseloads started decreasing in July of 2018 and that they've been hiring people since the new director took over. DCYF says following the outcome of the reviews into Zanai's death, the director is prepared to take additional action if necessary. I'm Caroline Goggin, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Caroline. New tonight, Massachusetts lawmakers passed a bill to give a real estate break to the family of a fallen police officer. Governor Charlie Baker joined the family of Weymouth Police Sergeant Michael Chestnut for a bill signing this afternoon. Sergeant Chestnut was shot and killed last July, leaving behind a wife and 2 children. State is authorizing the town of Hanover to give the family a tax break.
Moments like this are reminders of the very difficult work that the men and women in law enforcement do for us here in the Commonwealth.
Without the support, I wouldn't be able to go on like I have. It's uplifting what everyone has done for our family.
Jesna served 2 tours in the Army and came home to work for the Weymouth Police Department.